This is another random live, and I was inspired to do one. It's just the way my brain works. I am spontaneous, and so yeah, I'm at that moment where I like to say something. I don't know, like to express. So um, I worked today. I'm tired. Took a shower, relaxed. I'm all set. Um, so if anyone is here, understand that I'm not going to be looking at the chat much because I'll get easily distracted. But I think I have some fun things to talk about. So, firstly, though, I want to send some acknowledgments. Um, um, I just don't know how to phrase it, but um, Witch Share, I want to acknowledge you. You have been through living hell and you escaped it. You're a very strong person. Your story of how you came out was so beautiful and tragic. Like, I really felt a piece of you through that video. I felt like I got to know you. And thank you for being so trusting with us. And I sincerely appreciate that. I'm glad to know you. I'm glad to see your content, who you are. Maybe one day we could talk. I don't know. Uh, I bet we could have some fun talks. So, today I want to talk about some of my crazy schizophrenic times. Some of my, I guess I'd call them, I guess I'd call them religious experiences. And I don't have any mods, so it's okay. Just ignore it. That's all I can do. It's cool. It's fine. So, yeah, if you guys do have any questions or comments, just put that in bold and then write the sentence. And then I'll look back at the video and hopefully find it. So, um, some of the craziest experiences I've had were there was a stretch of about 9 months when I was manic Catholic. Hey, the pot life. My day is fine. It's actually pretty good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So, I was manic Catholic. And there's something that triggered that. I won't go over that now. But it was definitely in full effect. And to the point where I felt I was walking with some of the saints beside me. I felt I could perceive them. And it felt I was emotionally intimate with them. Not in a perverted way, in a holy way. And it actually brought joy to me. I can remember those days. But I do honestly feel that it was my schizophrenia. And, I've come to terms with that. It was hard to at first. And I still have in the very back of my mind saying it could be true. But it's very, I don't really think that in general. So, I I was crafting rosaries a lot. Hey, Michelle, how are you? I was crafting rosaries a lot out of different sizes of uh, what's it called? Paracord. Hey, Shay, how are you? Thanks for being here. I'm just talking about my religious experiences as a schizophrenic. This is very therapeutic for me to talk, and I'm pretty open about it now. I have a group of friends that are um, fighting against the cult of Scientology, and those friends are welcome to come here and listen, and any strangers too. It's going to seem strange, but it's entertaining. Yeah, it does, Michelle. Um, it is difficult, but not anymore. It was difficult. It was difficult for me at that moment or at that length of time. I've come to terms with it and I still have a faith, but I've let go of some of my crazy shit. At least I think I did. So here's the story. I crafted many things with paracord and I was so into it. I was making almost like weaponry against any demonic forces or what have you. I felt like a holy warrior almost. It's kind of the reason for my name, Holy Rogue. It's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of name, but it also interprets who I am. I have my own faith, I have my own belief, and it's it's what I perceive. It's my own way, and I think that's the only way people should do it. And if they don't agree with it, it's fine. You know, if they hate it, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think like the others, and I don't judge. Okay, my job is not to judge. I think all of our jobs are to witness as spiritual entities. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, I made these holy water vials at a craft store. I'd buy a vial. It was kind of gothic looking. It was really dope. It was a vial with, silver ends on it that you unscrew. I would put holy water in it and screw it back on and have this cool paracord chain that you can attach to your belt. And so you could like take out this weapon of holy water anytime you wanted. And that's how devout I was. And it was kind of cool. The only reason I never marketed it, and I have thought about that, but it's not right. It just ain't right. You never use you never use the Lord's name in vain. That would be using his name in vain. That's the way I feel. So, I literally went out of my neighborhood past midnight, maybe midnight, maybe, even later. And I would, hey, Cher, I'm getting along fine, really. Right now, I'm fine. I have a great wife. I have a great family who understands me. And I'm with them, every day. And I work full time. I have a daughter. So things are going fine. I'll be 50 in a few months. I'll be 50. So I didn't find out about my condition until I was like 46. You want to talk about like a life changer. I think I was going through a midlife crisis along with that. Like or finding out my condition, which is, by the way, yeah, right? Right. People say life starts at 50. Um, you're going to see me kind of go off the trail here and there, go off different subjects. My ADHD is pretty good, and I'm pretty tired. So, um, it's okay if any of you guys want to remind me what I'm talking about, if there's something that caught your interest. Okay, so I went door to door. Not every door. I actually walked in the middle of the night in this kind of I was feeling it. Like, I'm sincere, like I was feeling it. And I was walking. And when I perceived what house needed blessing, I'd acknowledge it from an outside source, like almost like an angel was telling me, or maybe the Lord was telling me. That's what it felt. That's how it felt intrusive in a good way, but not hardcore, but it just not you. And I guess that's where schizophrenia is right there. That's one. But I'd go to the door, I'd take the holy water, and I'd make a cross on their door and give a blessing. And I don't know what I said exactly. I don't know what prayer. I did something, but I took it very serious. And I actually felt good about that. I did it to quite a number of houses. And, I came home, no problems. I felt like, yeah, the Lord wanted me to do that. Now, looking back, knowing what I know now, it's like, yeah, to anybody, even to me, I'm not Catholic anymore. I've come to my own understandings. But you have to question those things, is it schizophrenia or is it spiritual? Because the spiritual will always be there for me. I can't get rid of it. The spiritual is just there. Those are the waters I'm in. I have schizophrenia, so I have schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type. And I find that out at age 46, and I'm going to be 50. So that'll change your life around. And I did have a hard time. And it answered so many questions of my past. But it made me feel pretty insecure in different ways. I won't get into that now. But so then I remember, okay, here's a spiritual experience. And to be honest, I still hold on to it today. I know whatever I say is held up to scrutiny and opinions. That's okay. There's a billion opinions. Each person's unique. I have a certain way of looking at things that you don't. You might agree with some of what I say. Hey, that's cool. But I think you're willing. I think you have the ability to hear another person's side and imagine it without having to be in full agreement with it. Or hell, maybe you will be in full agreement with it and have fun. So, Well, see, Scientology, I got into Scientology when I was 20, and that was way before I knew I had a condition. I'm an ex-Scientology staff member. Yes, yes. So first, yes, share. So first, I was a staff member when I was 20. Like I said, I'll be 50 coming up in a few months, and all the way till my 30, until all the way till like 30 or early 30s, and it was a pretty rough time, especially knowing that I had a condition now and seeing what I went through. Like, if you don't, if I don't know, Michelle, do you know what Scientology is? Like, have you seen any documentaries or anything like that? If you haven't, you should watch the documentaries. That's an easy way to find out. It's pretty accurate. Oh, cool. Nice. Yep. Um, yeah, I was a staff member, and I have a crazy story. My channel has some videos of interviews with me. I have one with me and Natalie. We did an interview about my crazy stuff in Scientology. It's really schizophrenic, and I can laugh about it now, but luckily I can. Oh wow, Michelle, that's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, you must get a lot of information now. You probably know it pretty well because they're pretty cut and dry. Oh, so share, yeah, the meds are helping, and yes, I've been taking meds for it, and makes a very big difference. I think the only side effect I'm really getting is a little bit of tiredness, maybe weight gain. I'm still, like I said, I'm going to be 50, so my metab is already kicking, and I got to start shifting gears. But maybe a little weight gain. Um, and yeah, that's about it. Um, so let me see. When were you diagnosed? Because I'm sure Saito's discovered. Oh, hell yeah. So here's the thing, right? This is, talking about it, it's really cool. Thanks for having a conversation. So it's going to make me think, though. These are good questions. See, I went when I was 20 because I did need something. Schizophrenia kicks in the teenage years, in the development years, in like late teens. And I can tell you, that's when I did all my drugs. That's when I did all my party drugs. And that did not help my condition, especially at that age. I'm sure it was like throwing gasoline on maybe a dormant condition. I don't know. But I can guarantee you it had to have affected me in some way. And so I needed something at that age of 20. I needed some guidance. And I was going to start the I Ching. I was reading self-help books. Kind of. I got books that were way over my head. Way over, like metaphysical shit, and synchronicity. It made some sense, but dude, it's not what I needed. And then fucking Scientology got their tentacles on me. And, you know, it took me in. I was working there for 10 plus years, in public maybe for a few years. And this is a long story short. I left. See the videos on my channel if you don't mind. You'll see it. So, I needed something, and of course, when I went there, they're not going to even promote it. Immediately, they tell you how bad it is. So my chance of getting actual true help, it was canceled. It was blocked for all that time. Because any other workplace, you could take care of yourself, your mental health, but not there. Psychiatry was like the devil incarnate. Seriously. So fucked up. So here's another story. I'll let you guys have questions. Oh, it was. Yeah, it was. But you make the best of it. Like, you think you're doing the right thing, so you think you feel good when you do something right, and so you had your good days and bad days, because that's what you think is what you should be doing. It was grueling. And I was not a pure victim. I was also disabled. I have a mental disorder. It's like the shocking truth when I was 46. And it's hard to sink in, and it's hard to understand and admit that. So I studied it, and I saw all the outlines, and I got a good grasp of it now. But, yeah, it was pretty bad. It's like each story, I'd have to think about what story to go into when I was on staff. I mean, there's so many. And like I said, they were good ones. I had most of my friends there. Again, I was there my whole life, like from 20 to 30. Like, that is a very important time of someone's life. Young adulthood. I needed fucking guidance. I did not have any. And I wound up in their grips. Hey Luke, what's up? Thanks for being here. So yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. I think I'm just ready. Being impulsive is a very strong condition of mine, and I can be compulsive towards, or impulsive rather. I can be impulsive towards pro-survival things. I hate to use that word, but anything that was used in Scientology pisses me off, even though they're real words. But that decision to, yeah, I feel it. Yeah, the impulsiveness comes from a confidence. Like, oh, it's like a bubble of confidence. It's like, oh, here it is. Okay, hey, it's time to do a video because I feel it. It's right here. And I'm comfortable and I'm ready. But when that bubble's not there, or a sphere, whatever you want to call it, I just decide not to. And I've realized that that's okay. Be you, because you're yourself. You don't have to fit in. I don't have to explain to myself or anybody, rather, not in a rude way, I'm not trying to say this rudely, but sincerely, I don't have to explain why I don't do videos every day. It's not my character. I get inspired to say something, and that's all. It's just me and my impulsivity. Hey, Dorothy, great to see you. Always great to see you. Dorothy, where are you from? If you want to answer that. Yeah, sure. It is peace of mind. Right. And I gotta thank my environment. I gotta thank my wife, who understands my condition fully well. And we also have a autistic son. It's her son. It's my stepson. Oh, South Georgia. All right. Hey, cool. So, hey, I'll tell you another story. Now, as you guys know, I still have faith. And I have a strong faith. All the crap I've been through, I feel it's refined me, and I kind of know, I feel I know better and have it, but whatever, you know. I'm just kind of like, I feel like I have to say that because um, I'm not, I'm not here to, so many bad examples out there, and I'm not here to be like a cookie cutter Christian or something. I'm not here to preach. I'm just saying, someone corrected me on this last time. You know what? It's my platform. Now let me just be calm and say there are at times I will talk about God and what I honestly believe. It might sound stupid to y'all, and it's totally fine. I'm sincere about that. Every one of us is different. Every single one of us is different. Here's an example. Okay, ready? All right. There's a glass of water. Okay. That glass of water, I saw it, you saw it, we all saw it. However, the way you see it and what you thought about that water, everyone is different. Okay? I sincerely believe that. We may think similar, but we're different in detail. I know. It's true. It's just there's people I respect at that who are not Christian. I honestly don't even like to call myself that because it's such a tainted word now. But, you know, I'm very different from other Christians. It's just the way it is. It's, um, we're similar but different. I have a lot of different views. Yeah, sure, you're correct. And yeah, I'm here to actually share them. And some I feel are important to share. And, you know, I'll tell you this one. I actually believe this was inspired by God. So I worked at a hotel at the time. And I don't remember the position's name, but I had the radio, and they would call me if like a room needed towels or a room needed extra shampoo, soap, whatever. It was a cool gig. I liked it. I did it full time. So one day, it's kind of a busy Friday, Friday was always busy, and I was doing laundry at the time. I did both. I had the radio and laundry. You know, those big ass machines. I had to shove laundry in them and pull it all out wet and throw them in this huge dryers. I actually love that shit, man. It's just my nature. It's what I'm built for, I guess. I don't mind a humble life. So, so I'm on the third. I go up to the third floor because somebody on the third floor needed something, and as I like exit the closet back into the hallway with towels in my hands, a man walked out of the door. I'm trying to explain it. Out of the door that led to the stairway, but he opened it to get into the same hallway I was. It's like he walked up the stairs or something. And he was a very kind, what's the word? Gentle. You know, there's another word for it. I can't think of it, but he was kind. He was kind. And I could sense that. And right away, I got the command in my head. And it's like a thought that you have. It's a regular thought, but it comes from the outside. And it was kind. It just said, you need to talk to him. That's it. And I had very strong faith. This is before my Catholicism, and this is before my latest diagnosis. This was gosh, I don't remember what year. So it was, like I said, it was a busy Friday, and I went back downstairs to start doing laundry again. And then, man, I got this like alarm in my head. I was like, oh, the guy, I gotta talk to him. And this is like the middle of work, but it's late too. It's like 10:30 at night. Oh, and just a little detail. The guy who came out of the stairway into the same hallway that I have to talk to, he entered from that stairway. He walked all the way down the hallway to the very last room. I just find significance in that because that's what I do. And it was easy to spot him where I had to go. Yes, yeah, this happened before I was diagnosed. And so I was partially diagnosed, but it wasn't, I was diagnosed with ADHD and schizoid, which is the first symptom of schizophrenia. But I didn't even accept that. I didn't really study that, you know. So I was always strong with my faith, though. Always. And I actually said, okay, I gotta do it. Okay. And I wasn't scared. Part of it may be my Scientology experiences, because they make you dull to things. But my mentality at that time was like, yeah, I have to do this. This is the Lord talking to me. Like, I need to do this. That's how I felt. And I went upstairs. I stopped what I was doing. I went upstairs. Yeah, I am completely against religion as well. Religion is divide and conquer. Jesus Christ, God, Holy Spirit, like, He is Lord. I'm sorry, you know. I shouldn't say I'm sorry. I just don't want to preach because we all know. We all know what we know. Um, so I went up to his room. I went up to the door and I knocked. Mind you, 10:30 p.m. at night. This is a hotel room. So he opens the door and he says, "Hi." I says, "Hey, I walked by you a moment ago. You walked by me a moment ago. And I know this is going to sound strange, but God told me to talk to you." It's exactly what I said. And he goes, "Oh my God." And he goes, "That's amazing." He goes, "I just found out that I have some type of cancer. I honestly don't remember." And I was like, "Oh my God." So I had this instruction in my mind of like, take him outside, let's walk around the block a couple times. Because I had my radio on, I was still working. So I walked around the block, around the hotel with him a couple times, talked about the situation, and I guided him to Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. Just trust in the Lord, let him guide you. Let go of these worries. This is the cycle of life. In those, not exact words, but in that message. And yeah, he felt better. We went back to the apartment, and that was it. Um, I still feel really strong about that. I love that moment. Can it be disproven? Not when I gave you that example about the glass of water. Like there's only one person who perceives it, and that's me. Just like you have your own experiences. Only you can actually perceive exactly what you perceive. We may see the same thing, but we don't think about it the same, based on all of our experiences and whatever else. It's pretty interesting. But I do believe it because there was an understanding there. It was pretty awesome. But you know what? After knowing that I had schizophrenia and stuff, I realized that I am willing to be wrong. And that's a great lesson to learn. And it's not an easy one to keep. Like, it's not the first thing you think of sometimes. You have to know that you might have been wrong. And that happened to me when I left Catholicism. Mind you, I was very, very manic in Catholicism. I studied it like crazy. I practiced it like crazy. I have some funny stories about that. A lot more. And I don't know. I don't know exactly what my point was right there. mm. Let me see. Hey, thanks, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, for real. Life is strange. I don't care how you look at it. I always say this. It's a fun thing to think about because it'll never get old. When's the last time you guys have actually contemplated with your best logical and spiritual methods, however combination you want to use? When's the last time you contemplated existence? You don't have to do anything else, but just contemplate existence. If you go right to the Big Bang Theory, which is fine, there's things under that. Now remember, it's a theory because it makes the most sense logically in a physical um, manner. It's cool. I can understand the theoretical science of it. So if the universe is ever expanding, um, what's on the other side? These things are infinite. And I don't think that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense. I do think we're created. The details of all that and the history of all that is not the picture book you've been given in Sunday school. It's really not. I do believe in Scripture. I do see a lot of wisdom in there, and I do believe it's a supernatural book. But talk about misused, talk about misinterpreted. You know, the majority really don't understand it, and they just read it and try to use it as an object. They don't have eyes to see, ears to hear, yet they claim they do. And they abuse good people. They hurt, harm, traumatize very good people because of their mispractice or their sincere lack of faith. They just try to apply it, whack them over the head with the Bible. That's how you use it, right? Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling on that, but listening to Witch shares videos, which you really should. Um, man, I really felt that, and yeah, if you want to talk about it sometime, whatever, you know, if you even feel comfortable with me, seriously, I can understand why. Totally cool. I really respect you. It is, but here's the funny thing to share, from my understanding, is that there's proofs of it, like the Dead Sea Scrolls. And that's not a fake. The Dead Sea Scrolls are an amazing find. When you see the actual originals practically replicating exactly what we're reading today. And I find that supernatural. And the people who are writing the Bible, they're definitely turning it around. They're steering it the way they want to, like Joel Osteen. I can't stand that name, or other people like that. And they're going to interpret it the way they want to. I'll say just from my own experience, and I've heard other people say this too, is that when one has a faith, be it earned or be it, cultivated, you can't sometimes just get it. It takes cultivation, but you see people around you who are really certain about it. And, if you reach out, you just might understand. I don't know. It might just be my schizophrenia. But I tend not to think it is. Maybe it's a mix of both. But even pages from the Book of Enoch were in the Dead Sea Scrolls, which is amazing. That Book of Enoch was discredited by, Catholic priests and whatever in the 1700s, or I don't know, long time ago. Don't quote me on the century. As being, unfitting, it's not part of the scriptures. Da, 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 da. That Book of Enoch is an amazing book of prophecy. Brock, yeah, and that's just an amazing thing. I actually can understand that though, because I felt I've heard God as well. And it's not hard for me to understand another person feeling compelled to write what is coming to his mind. It's not hard for me to understand that. Let me scroll up. I want to make sure I catch everything. Yeah. No, you're right. Sherry, you're right completely. I think that's a very, very important thing to point out. Is it is a book, be it supernatural or not. If you want to know God, just be sincere. That's all. That's all. You don't need anything else. Just need to be sincere. And that's all I'll say about that, because it's the only answer. It's the only answer for me. I don't speak for others. Yeah. So, yeah, Cher, I do too, because I've been through some crazy journeys, just like we all have, and spiritual journeys. I've been spiritual since I was, 14 or so, and always had it. And people going through their own trials, their own thing, their own spiritual trials, and wherever they're at, they're at. I don't. It doesn't bother me. Why would it bother me? Well, see, they're not a religion. Well, they're evil. We know them as Scientologists suck. Dorothy, thank you. Yeah. I love to hear others' views. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to hear yours. Hey, Power. Great to have you here. I'm just talking about some of my schizophrenic episodes of the past and some of my religious. I'm not going to use that word. It's really not a word that I ever want to use. I'm honestly not religious. I'm just going to tell you what I define it as, because for some people, they don't see it as I do. Um, the difference between religion and faith. Religion has particular practices or beliefs and ways of behaving that another group may or may not have that is also considered Christian. To me, that's the divide and conquer. To me, that's just foolishness. And it's gotten so bad, like where we are today after all these centuries. But it's a very long story short when I think about it. I've been through religion and it's gotten me into some messes. That's also my fault for my condition and stuff. But I sincerely am not religious. I don't trust religion right now at all. If you look around your own religion, you might see some weird shit. And if you're honest with yourself, you may just say, hey, this is weird. This isn't right. Hey, that's what I perceive. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I could be wrong. But I'm saying I think I'm right. Take a look. And faith is your individual trust, communication, comfort with the Lord, with the Holy Spirit, the great comforter. Let faith with the Holy Spirit, let it talk to you. Let it soothe you. Talk to it. But with sincerity. For example, and this is, I think, an important example. Praying to God or wanting to talk to Him and saying, God, I feel fucking stupid. I think you're fake as fuck. I think everything about you is a joke. But if you're sincere, it's totally fine. Like, you can't insult God. Trust me. God has seen everything. If you want to have a conceptual idea of His omnipresence, imagine this planet, which it's getting to this point, but imagine everything is recorded. I'm talking everything. And you can rewind and fast forward it anytime you want. You can enter any place you want. That's just there for a concept. And I'm just trying to paint a concept. And just know that the Holy Spirit is the great comforter, and if you talk to it with sincerity, it knows. He knows. I think we're in some pretty serious times, and I think it's a good idea to contemplate, is there a God? Contemplate it again, but with sincerity. It's just that time. Or I'm just a spiritual person, and that's all. I'm just talking like a spiritual person, and it doesn't mean shit, you know? That could be the truth, too. I feel it. I feel it. It's real to me. You guys have any questions? Thank you, Cher. Yeah, I am. Hey, Michelle Cher. My first name is Matthew. I got something funny. Ready? So you see me drinking out of this mug, right? Well, I'm a left-hander. So when you turn it around, because it's made for righties. This is my Hallmark Channel watching mug. This is my Hallmark Channel watching mug. So this is my wife's mug. I can't watch. It's very hard for me to watch Hallmark because when I watch it, hey Michelle. So when I watch it, I tend to laugh, like because the acting and all that. And so my wife and I will ad lib what the show's about. Oh my god, we started laughing, cracking up. Yes, man, Power, you're a pretty smart guy, you know. And with all the videos you do about the e-meter and stuff, I'll be honest with you, I haven't really listened to them just because it's a boatload of data and it's a lot to process. But I will. I will definitely at some point. So yes, there is definitely a physical anomaly that has reinforced my faith. Man, it's like, what are you? Man, you nailed it. I wanted to save that story for another day, but let me tell you this. I'll tell you this in a general sense. Because it is another story. It should be its own time. Whereas I think this is a very important event. And let me just tell you this. I witnessed God asked me to look at the sun. God asked me to look at the sun. Not asked, but told me. And I had those sunglasses for the eclipse. And the sun moved. The sun was moving. It was very hard to comprehend. I rubbed in my eyes. I did what I had. I put my glasses back on. The sun was moving. It was moving like this. Like if you can see the tip of my finger. It was like, it was kind of blurry. It's moving all over. And it actually felt like it was dropping at the same time. I was so confused by it that I used the peripheral vision and looked at the line of my glasses to measure the distance from the sun to make sure, is it actually moving down? Because it was so convincing. So I stopped I said it might just be me. Let me get some coffee. I didn't know my diagnosis yet. And I got some coffee. I think I ate something, toast or whatever. And I went back outside in the front yard. I put on those same glasses that I used practically every day in that time period. This was during the eclipse of September 23rd, 2017. And I had those glasses. I went out to my front yard, clear blue sky. I put them on. Same thing. And I'm like, holy shit. And there are more details to the story. I'm going to save that for later. It's a story, though, that's very personal and has a lot of details to how it affected me. But thank you, Power. You're right. There was a physical anomaly. And it wasn't, though. It wasn't scary. Yeah, it was a great experience. Now, when you put those glasses on, just to help your imagination with it, when you put your glasses on, if you remember, everything's dark but the orange sun. Everything's dark but the orange sun. And I can tell you it wasn't the lens or anything like that, because I use those very same glasses practically every day. And I would look at the sun all the time just because I'm a curious person. And it's pretty wild. And it did change my life. It sparked me into, I'll go into that later. But yeah. So I'm going to wrap up. But anybody have questions? Let's spend the last few minutes asking any questions or whatever you want to say. Well, I do want to say thanks for being here and listening. This was a very good experience. I enjoyed it. I'm learning to be myself on camera. And I've been married for 10 years. So that's fantastic. Yeah, together for 12. Yep. She's my guardian angel. She's absolutely awesome. And I'm going to have her on here at some point. She unfortunately is suffering from anemia. And sorry, I can't think of the correct word. It's a cancer of the blood. And it's slow progressing. Like, it's very slow progress. We're not alarmed by it yet. But she has other autoimmune diseases she's going through. But she's a trooper. And she's super strong. And she helps, she does amazing things. All right, I'm going to read here. Let's see. Yeah, I can't wait to hear the whole story. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dorothy. Good night. Yeah, it's okay. No. My first wife was. I don't know if she still is. Probably. But no, my wife, my current wife, second wife. the wife. No, she helped me understand. She had a faith, and she showed me what faith was. She didn't show me religion. She showed me faith. Like this is, she's a woman who like has that gift, and it's phenomenal to witness. And I witnessed it being with her, and naturally I started looking into it, and answers started coming to me through my own thinking, and as some would say, through the Holy Spirit. Let me see here. Hey, I'm going to call it a night, and thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me the space to talk. And even if I feel introverted as fuck, you know, I really appreciate it. All right. Till next time.